All right. I'd like to start off by saying Barak Tayhawa, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and welcome to another live lesson. This is just pretty much an impromptu. It's called It's a Waste of Time. And pretty much, this is inspired through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai by a video that I've been watching off and on. Brothers down in Miami. This dude Polite came through, and still bringing that same tired argument about the 12-year-old girl and this, that, and the other, and the same old bullshit. They can't get past, that what the scriptures say because of this society. And brothers was trying to explain that to him, and he just wasn't getting it. And if he was getting it, pretty much what he was doing was he was pretty much just speaking in circles. And that's why the name of this lesson is It's a Waste of Time. And a precept came to mind, so I decided to commit it to video real quick. This is Proverbs 29:9. If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. And that's pretty much what's happening. You're going back and forth with this individual that doesn't care about the scriptures, as far as being intelligent, the man is intelligent, but the dude doesn't get it, or he doesn't want to get it, which either way it goes, it's the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai that's blocking him from getting the truth. Now, there are many different aspects to the truth, but they want to focus on what they deem to be negative because they want to try and find any excuse that they can not to get down with this thing, and that's what a lot of people do. They try to find a fault so that they don't have to get themselves right with the Most High. So that's why I said it's pretty much as a waste of time to go back and forth with these individuals, these jakes out here. Salakia. So the best thing to do is just avoid them, just ignore them, because you're gonna just gonna get a headache. And in certain cases with certain individuals that have nothing but brute beasts, you're gonna end up getting into a fight or something like that. Like the scriptures say, cast not your pearls before swine, and give not that which is holy unto the dogs, lest they turn and rend you. Because pretty much what's gonna happen is they're just gonna want to fight. Eventually. Why? Because some people can't contain their emotions, especially Jake. In this society, you're taught just to act on emotions. You're not taught to reason and to think and to rationalize and to research and to read, and to get into, the mindset that was going on at the particular time when certain of these scriptures were being written. They lost all sense of direction when it comes to that, because they have not been trained the right way. They have not been taught the right way. Their minds have not been groomed the right way. Therefore, they're thinking as far as the society that they were brought up in, which happens to be this Western society. Now, if we was to teach this anywhere in the East, people would understand, because they're not dealing with emotions, because these are cultures and customs that go way back, But in this society, you're pretty much taught to act on emotions, and not to reason like men. They want everyone to pretty much act like a woman, and just, go on a tirade of emotions, to be, just like, they have pretty much mind fucked the people, to do. This is why it says, train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he shall not depart from it. And there is a importance for the men and women of the nation of Israel to be trained and taught the right way, But unfortunately, in this society, you can't do that. You can't teach, because even if you have children, you try to teach them, and what happens is, if you and the mother are not together, or if that child is going to school or going to his grandparents' house or whatever the case is, they're going to be influenced by their teachings. So you're going to have a contradiction there. You know, you're going to have different contradicting views. One coming from yourself, being, a man of the Lord in the scriptures, and another coming from people of the world. So this society pretty much is all messed up. So it's pretty much a waste of time to try to sit there and argue with these people. This is why, you have these scoffers that get on the comment board and asking, if we're scared to confront people. No, we're not scared to confront people. The problem is we've done that already. We've already confronted people. We've already been in those hour, 2, 3 hour, 4 hour battles, going back and forth with these wacky tacky Christians, back and forth to no avail, because no one was edified, no one converted. At the end of the day, you end up with a headache dealing with these individuals. And if I can get it, I perceive that he saw the rape thing in the Bible, which a lot of you men that call yourself Israelites that are teachers out there can't see, because you're too goddamn emotional, like a goddamn woman. You can't put those emotions aside to research and looking up a couple of words, looking up a couple of phrases, doing a little research. You would see that's why the Apostle Paul said, "Be not conformed to this world." There has to be a change of mind. Now, when we if two men lie together and have sex, they're supposed to be put to death according to the law. A woman gets caught in adultery, her and the man are supposed to be put to death. You can't do that. Your child being stubborn. If you, after you correct him and all that, and he won't listen, you're supposed to put him to death. If you find people that are worshiping idols, you're supposed to stone them on the spot. If your daughter, you being a priest and your daughter is a harlot, you're supposed to burn her. Different scenarios that cannot be instilled in this society. But we still speak about it because it's a part of the scriptures. It's a part of our culture. It's a part of what was going on in everyday life back then. But these individuals can't seem to grasp that. They can't seem to understand that. They are stuck on stupid pretty much. So that's why I said it's a waste of time, because I'm listening to the brothers. They're going into it. At first, the brothers got a little emotional, but that's the zeal of the Lord. That's the zeal of the Lord that compels brothers, because that when you have that desire, that the Lord gives us to defend the Lord's word, you get mad when somebody doesn't accept it. But that comes, in time that will pass, so to speak, because the scriptures say the more understanding you have, the less upset you get. I can't quote it verbatim, but he that is of like an understanding heart is slow to anger, something along those lines. And that comes with time, that comes with experience. That's what is we through the Spirit call seasoning. A seasoned, brother that has been dealing with these situations, that can mentally, work through the emotions, and hit the points logically through the scriptures, and that's not, always easy to do, unless the Spirit of the Lord has a calm spirit upon you, to do these things, so it's a waste of time trying to go back and forth with these individuals, because they're not going to listen. They're not going to get it. If their conscience is seared, that the Lord don't want them, no matter how you are presented, no matter how plain you could make it, they're not going to get it, because it's not meant for them to get it, because the Lord does not want them. You got to understand that the people of Israel that are receiving this word are the Israelites that are part of the elect, and they will accept it because the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai will open up their mind to accept it. Otherwise, they won't be able to get it. So when you have your mind armed like that, when it's time to engage and when it's time to fall back. Like the scripture said, a time to speak and a time to refrain from speaking. Because what are you going to accomplish? Absolutely nothing. You're going to give yourself a headache, possibly get into a fight. Now you got another problem when you could have avoided dealing with this knucklehead in the first place. So it just, like I said, just as I was watching the brothers, I was getting like a little mad, but I really wasn't, because, after a while of dealing, in those situations, you tend to know the outcome anyway. Like when you first go out there, you have that anxiety, because you're not sure what people are going to come with. But after a while, of dealing and of engaging with people, pretty much every question that they're going to ask. You already know when they ask one question, what the next question is going to be. That comes to being seasoned, being experienced in this word. So it's basically a waste of time going back and forth with these individuals. The best thing to do is avoid them, and just move on or just teach. Like different camps, do different things. Like when vocab goes to these different camps, some camps engage them, other camps ignore them. Some camps reason with them, other camps curse them out. It all depends, on the individuals, and if you perceive that a person is just wicked or they're not going to get it, just leave them alone. Just speak, because right now, you have the camera there, and pretty much the message will not fall on deaf ears. Even if the people that are around you don't listen, somebody, within the viewing of that video will listen. Somebody will get edified eventually. If it's not there, somebody, that will be watching the video, whether the video is live or whether the video is pre-recorded and uploaded later, somebody's going to get the edification of it. So don't try to bust your nut, your mind, trying to reason with these scoffers, because as we read, I'm gonna read that again. That's a bad scripture. It just came to mind just before I got ready to start the lesson, because I really didn't have any precepts, but that one came to mind. So I said, let me say a few words and use this scripture as the structure, for this lesson. Proverbs 29:9. If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man. So who's a wise man? A wise man would be one that is learned in the scriptures. Who is a foolish man? A foolish man is one that doesn't know anything, that is full of emotions, that cannot reason out of the scriptures, because he is not trained and learned in the scriptures like we would be. Excuse me. So it says, if a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. So you're going to keep going back and forth, speaking in circles, giving yourself a headache. You're saying the same thing. If you notice with these individuals that come up, they talk about something, you answer it, you bring out scriptures, it's not good enough for them. So they'll speak around in a circle, go all the way around the planet, come back, and then start that whole cycle all over again. It's called circumlocution. And they're going to bring it back to their argument, because at the end of the day, they're not looking to be edified by the scriptures. They're looking to make their point, to try to make us look bad so that they can look good. So it's not about from the sincerity of their heart, looking to well, you know what, if you say this and that and the other, show me in the Bible where it says that. And then if you show it to them, they'll be like, oh, okay, now I believe it. No, because not everyone has the spirit of the Bereans. Not everyone is going to search. The only thing they're going to search for, if they're a scoffer, is something to try to make their point. Something to try to make this truth look bad, to pull as many people away as possible, which pretty much they're still working for the Most High anyway. Because at the end of the day, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has men teaching the truth and those that are accepting it, and he has those out there that's teaching lies and others that are accepting the lies and not the truth. So whichever way it goes, that's why the Apostle Paul said that. Whether in pretense or in sincerity, Yahweh Shai is preached in our glory. Why? Because at the end of the day, the word is still going out. Whether it's coming out of the sincerity of a brother's heart or out of the wickedness of an individual scoffer's heart, the word is still going out. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be a separation between the righteous and the wicked. There's going to be a time when the Lord is going to make a distinction, in his men and separate them from the scoffers. Scriptures say, and then shall be known who are my chosen, and they're going to shine. So pretty much it's a waste of time going back and forth with these scoffers. Don't even waste your time. Don't try to crack your nut. Don't get all upset and all bundled up in a knot, because at the end of the day, it's a waste of time dealing with these scoffers, and polite is numero uno when it comes to being a scoffer, so I wouldn't even lose no sleep over that one, and for future reference, just deal generally, just deal generally, don't go on no personal attacks, because now we're at the point now where they're trying to use anything to try to stop this word. So just deal, don't deal with any personal attacks. Just deal scripturally, speak scripturally, And if you see a person getting aggressive or whatever, keep your eye on them. If they cross the line, then you know what time it is. But Lord's will, they stay away, and this is why it's important to set up those prayers, before camp and after camp. So it's a waste of time dealing with these people, because at the end of the day, like the scriptures call them brute beasts. So don't even waste your time. Just teach, edify. If somebody comes up and you're trying to deal with them and you see that they ain't getting it, just either tell them to move on down the street or just go and teach. Don't even worry about trying to engage them. Because sometimes brothers will do that. They'll ignore the person, but then they'll keep, every time they say something, they'll keep saying something, it'll keep turning that person up. Scripture says, resist the devil and he shall flee from you. Just ignore the individual, All right, so with that, I'm going to say shalom. I hope you brothers have been edified. And just remember, man, it's a waste of time.